G'day YouTube, this is the Serial Thriller Broadcast, and today I'm going to be talking about Mad Max, the Australian dub. Mad Max is directed by George Miller and stars Mel Gibson. This is the story of a cop who is sent down a path of vengeance after his wife and child are killed by a gang of motorcycle bandits. So I recently picked up the collector's edition, which I'm assuming they started remaking into Blu-ray because of the Mad Max movie that's coming out soon. And there's a couple things I want to say about it. One, it's really cool because it goes straight to the menu when you put it in. You don't have to wait for any ads or any studio logos or anything like that. You can just start playing the movie right away. And two, this is the original audio dub of the movie. I heard that when the movie was released, it was released mainly in drive-ins. And there was an Australian dub originally with all the characters doing their Australian accents. And basically the way it worked was they had a little speaker that would connect to your car at the drive-in. So these voices were coming through and they were hard to understand, not only because the audio wasn't very well done, but also because of the accents. So they released another version afterwards. Now I have the original, and I can say that definitely, even on Blu-ray, sitting in my living room, there was definitely some issues where I couldn't hear what certain characters were saying, so that could be a little distracting. The movie itself was pretty good. It's got a strong opening and a slow burn up to the climax, although some scenes in the middle drag on, and I know that's something I say a lot, but in this movie it was definitely very noticeable. After watching this though, and knowing kind of where the franchise went, I'm not sure that this movie knew exactly what it was doing. Like, there was parts when I think that they were trying to portray the fact that it might be almost post-apocalyptic, but it's not to the point that you see it in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Like, they still seem to have civilization as we know it in this movie. But when you read the tagline, it says it's the maximum force of the future. So obviously it's semi-futuristic, and things haven't got better, let's just say. Mel Gibson gives a really good performance in this movie. It's an early performance for him. I'm not sure what he'd done before this, but this movie came out in 1979. There's a scene when he's running up to his wife and child after they've been hit by a motorcycle. You see he starts to cry, and he starts to realize before he even gets there that his wife and kid are dead. And that was pretty heart-wrenching to watch for sure. So the climax and the movie as a whole are filled with a lot of great practical stunts because it was the late 70s, so of course they didn't have CG to rely on or fall back on. And it's cool to see that, obviously. It's cool to see that today, so it's nice to see well-choreographed driving stunts for sure. It was a lot of fun. And I also like how the main villain is killed off sort of unceremoniously, which kind of makes the whole story seem a bit more realistic. But at the same time, you still get to see Max sort of set up this elaborate booby trap at the end for one of the lesser characters as well. So you get some over-the-top, almost torture kills, and you get to see the main villain get what's coming to him. So I bought this movie a little bit in preparation for the new one that just is about to come out, but also because I think out of the three from the original series, this one was my favorite. It had a much different feel than the other two, I think, and I'd have to watch the other ones again to really be sure on that, but I really like this one. Definitely worth a watch if you're into older action movies. This has been the Serial Thriller Broadcast, and if you feel thrilled, chilled, and fulfilled, hit the subscribe button and let me know what you thought in the comments below.